Yeah, the liars, they're everywhere. They run amok, running their mouths, making their false statements, wreaking havoc on everybody and everyone. Yeah, and they're weak. They have no conscience about it. And then they wonder why, you know, they'll wonder why, they're being time looped as their ripple effects victims and then eternally executed so that they never exist to perpetuate their crimes that they committed with their deceptions, right? Like right now, I'm not allowed to be the cool masculine male me, who has a driver's license and can drive around and go get a job, get off SSI, pay taxes, be the cool dad that can go pick his daughter up, none of that stuff, due to the lies of a monster pretending to be a substance abuse counselor named Chris Seager. This has been an ongoing perpetuation of oppression and wrongful revocation of my driver's license under a corrupt white devil law. Which, it's cool. It gives me authority over all bad laws and all people who capitalize on them or benefit from them or who enforce them, all the way back to 1949. How ironic that law kicked in a year after the nation of Israel became a nation and started the generation of the fig. So I have authority over, spiritual authority over all governments that incorporate any bad laws against any of God's end-time elect all the way back to then. It's retro paid back to then at cartoonish per rates, like per second that passed from the moment that they conceived to, enact that evil, corrupt law. MCL, what is it, 257.303. And then, I go and I lose my driver's license due to, driving under the influence of alcohol offenses 32 years ago, in my teens. Yeah. And 10 years after that, I tried to get it back, 22 years ago. I did everything they told me to do. I even violated my own religious beliefs to, get off parole. And, went and confessed lies out of my mouth that, I'm powerless over alcohol, even though I, despise this shit. I don't drink it. And, I go and see their little red-nosed, drunken, white devil chemical toilet prescription drugs, diminished capacity having interviewer at the driver's license appeal division. It was driver's license appeal division back then. They're so corrupt they had to change their name and acronym too. And he shot me down. Okay, so it's caused unnecessary undue hardship upon me and my wife, and just everything that I was going to do with my life. I had lined up back then a job where, now I'd be making like $48 an hour on that job had I just been able to get my driver's license back. And then, recently I came in for my 50th birthday, I came into the money to hire a lawyer who ineffectively represented me, Kyle Legal. It's like he didn't really do anything more than a paralegal would do. He filed some paperwork and showed up at the hearing and said a few words, but he didn't really fight for my driver's license back, and I warned him that it was going to be a fight because of the corruption involved, all the way up to however high it goes that they're keeping me from getting my license back, right? So, I go into the hearing with this. I didn't even see the report, nobody would let me see it because it was so atrocious and so full of lies about me that, I guess they were afraid that I'd flip out and, go kill the bitch, because it's what she deserves. She deserves for somebody to just flip out and beat her to death. Because she's negatively affected how many lives now, right? So, I didn't see this report that had me diagnosed with marijuana dependency, even though I'm abstinent, And I even had a clean drug test, 10-tier drug test that was clean. There was no marijuana in it. After I went and seen this retarded lying bitch, Chris Seager, and she was molested, so everything she sees is now cartoonishly damaged. If it had to contract her services, well then it must be damaged and need to seek out help, either alcohol help or drug help. So they put me through this illegal ringer due to the change of laws that I must submit to violations of federal HIPAA laws regarding the privacy of my health care, and talk about medical marijuana. That would be the equivalent of me talking about, my prescriptions for Tylenols or Vicodin. You see, or for them requiring you to talk about it, and then for them to tell you, well, you have a chemical dependency on your prescription drugs, so you got to go get help and get off of your prescription drugs, so you can't have your driver's license. You see this double standard they're doing, right? So this bitch files her evil misdiagnosis. It's like, it's like in her brain, for real. It must be like a cartoon, stones bouncing around inside of her head where the lack of brain that's there. And then, I go see this fucked up, fat, monstrous, shrieky, fucking probably a chemical toilet alcohol fucking glutton monster bitch, Hearing Officer Odrobina, who's such a corrupt bitch that she doesn't even put her first name on any of her paperwork, because that's how corrupt and fucked up she is, and she knows it. And she was just a rude, monstrous, evil, white devil bitch. Wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise to defend myself. Took every twisted viewpoint of Chris Seager's twisted little fucked up, molested by her daddy and her uncle mind, and took that shit and entered it in as fact against me, to where now if I don't violate my religious beliefs, that I have the right not to interact with chemical toilets and drunken white devils, and not fucking go confess out of my mouth that I'm powerless over shit that I'm not powerless over, then I can't get my driver's license back. You see what these white devils have done? They wreak havoc. This is government white devils. This is just what they are. White people in power are evil, fucked up monsters. Okay, it's like I still am waiting for just one white person in power, a judge or a lawyer, to step up and redeem me, restore me my driver's license. Just for one white person to stop being a devil. Okay. Just one. It only takes one to be like, hey, you can't do this to him. You can't violate his rights to his, health care, and violate his rights to his medication, and say that he can't have a driver's license if he doesn't seek help to get off of it, unless you're going to tell everybody that's on prescription drugs that they can't have a license either. Unless you tell everybody that ever shows a receipt on their credit card that they bought alcohol that they can't have a license either. And you notice how they didn't put that option up there for me to have a breathalyzer on my vehicle so that I could get my license back, due to it being alcohol-related offenses. And the reason why is because they know I won't recidivate. I'll never blow dirty in it. I'll never blow alcohol into it. So therefore, I can't have it. You see how this is working, right? So it's like, okay, this is what the government is, okay? They're stricken with diminished capacity curses big time for this shit too. Plus all the other curses, like the per penny curses that are attaching to them for the money that they stole from me, that I could have used to buy me a no-no or some food or some new wigs or clothes or something, that I dumped in getting my license back just for them. They stole that money from me. I feel like Chris Seager and Hearing Officer Odrobina stole my money. That's how I feel. I feel, no different than if they'd walked up to me with a gun and took the shit. That's how I feel, man. Yeah, because they knew I was trying to get my driver's license back, and they knew that they had no intention to let me have it. Yeah. Chris Seager's so powerful. If she was so powerful, she could overcome the molestation that has her seeing everything so negatively, that has her twisting every positive trait of somebody's character into something negative. That, oh my God, he can't be equal to the pillheads and alcoholics who have driver's licenses driving around neighborhoods all fucked up right now. He can't be equal to them because he has a religious belief that he should be able to use medical marijuana if the occasion arises that he needs it. They didn't even base this decision on my usage, man. They based it on my words, my beliefs. You can't see how illegal that is and how enraging it is. You see, every day I have to wake up and face down this rage now. It's like, goddamn, when will I see a news story that something happened to these bitches, man? For real, I need God to punish them, to smite them. I really do. I need him to terrorize them like I'm being terrorized. I'm being terrorized right now. I can't get my driver's license back unless I go do something that's terroristic to me. I don't want to interact with drunk and chemical toilets. That's why I don't have my brothers in my life. Retards. Yeah. So it's like, it's no huge stretch to think that that Obama, being the crazed, retarded dictator that he is, would initiate this thing against Sony, as a false flag against North Korea. For all we know, Kim Jong Un was a big man and didn't even care about some stupid ass movie being made about him by some dumbass non-existent Americans, right? It's like, for all we know, he didn't even care. But then North Korea is pitching a bitch about this movie, right? And it's funny to see Obama stand up there and call somebody else a dictator, for him to even say some dictator somewhere. And it just seemed like he was talking about himself when he said it, And it was hard for him to hold a straight face when he said it. It's like, okay, some crazed dictator somewhere to say that you can't show a movie. Well, what if Kim Jong-un never cared about it? Didn't give a fuck, right? And then he gets accused of being a little enough man that he cares about it, being as little as Obama. Remember, Obama had a mad poet, a white devil poet, incarcerated for a poem about him called Sniper, placing that white devil poet up on the same level as all the civil rights leaders, who were oppressed for their beliefs, you see. So it's like, Michael Vick did less time for fucking torturing animals than this guy has done. Right. It's like, what if Kim Jong-un was bigger than Obama and didn't really give a fuck about the movie? But then now he's being accused of being a little bitch who cried about the movie. Now Kim Jong-un has reason to be pissed off because his character has been assaulted by a deranged little tyrannical dictator, a little liar. I mean, somebody that just gets in front of people and blatantly bold-faced lies to them. You can keep your insurance. You can keep your doctor. It's like all this other bold-faced lies that if anybody else had done it, any white president before him had said even two lies like that, they would have been out of there and impeached. Lack of integrity. You can't lead a nation if you have no integrity. So it's like, okay, I'd much more believe Kim Jong-un, who doesn't really have a reputation as being a liar. He has a reputation of being a dictator and torturous and atrocious, but he doesn't have the reputation that American government officials have of being atrocious little liars, just malicious, diabolical freaks who couldn't tell the truth if it was puke trying to spew out of their mouths. They would swallow it down rather than let it come out of their mouths because they have something controlling them called a shitworm spirit that will not let them do right, will not let them say right. Well, I bound up them spirits and cast them into the time loops as all of their victims already. So it's just a matter of time before these dictators that were controlled by these spirits and all these passive terrorists on the Forbes Fortune 500 list start really showing signs of diminished capacity where their brains won't function. They're having long, drawn-out brain farts. Yeah, it's like it's not the times are soon coming when you'll be able to take all their money away from them because they have diminished capacity. Yeah, so it's like any billionaires that don't respond to my offer to neutralize the curses on them, they deserve it, don't they? Yeah. It's like, look at what them being in power is doing to me. I am living another day stolen from me. I may not even have a year left, but these bitches got me a whole nother year. I don't get my driver's license back, and I won't get it back beyond that if I don't submit to their orders, their demands, bow down and suck their raunchy fucking goddamn white devil asses and do what the fuck they tell me to do. Oh boy, if only we could take them and fucking take them out to a fucking shed somewhere in the woods and make them do things that they don't want to do. Yes, I loose that spirit upon them. That because they want me to do things that I don't want to do to get my driver's license back, that I have the religious right not to do. Let a spirit go forth to cause entities to make them do what they don't want to do, to terrorize them like they terrorize me. to force them to jump through hoops like they forced me to jump through hoops, or like they hope to. I just won't have a driver's license, and I'll just keep riding this authority out until we're all done with this earth age. I don't care if that's how they want to play it. I win bigger like this. They don't realize it.